Livingston also talked about informal education. According to Livingston, informal education, learning, or training occurs when teachers or mentors take responsibility for instructing others without sustained reference to an intentionally organized body of knowledge. In other words, I have this textbook. I don't intend to teach the whole textbook. I only intend to teach pieces of it, and that would then become informal education. I only teach what I think is important for you as the student. It is not structured. It is not time-bound. We are not constrained by having to pass quizzes and tests and exams. And informal education and learning does not depend on a solid text base. It depends on what the individual teacher has, knows, and is willing to share with you. In more incidental and spontaneous learning situations, such as guiding them in acquiring job skills or in community development activities. So informal learning really happens when you are at a job or you are looking for a job. Now, job skills. How do you interview for a job? How do you write a CV? These are skills that are not taught in formal education, neither are they taught in non-formal education. How do you answer questions? What are your interpersonal skills? Those kinds of things are important on the job. And so, if there is an individual who is willing to teach you and equip you with those skills, you should be on the right track. And so, according to Livingston, informal education and informal learning is simply guiding individuals in acquiring particular skills. That's all you want. You are not going to give a certificate. You don't want them to pass a test. You don't want them to sit for an exam or anything like that. All you want to make sure is that this individual now has the skills that he or she previously did not have before they came to you. Informal learning is any activity involving the pursuit of understanding knowledge or skill which occurs without the presence of externally imposed curricular criteria in any context outside the pre-established curricula of educative institutions. So informal learning can also actually happen on the school grounds, because there you don't need curricula, you don't need textbooks. How students interact with one another, how they behave, how they talk, how they play. There are team games, there are independent games. What happens in these different situations? Because in a team game, if each player is not doing his or her part, that you are not going to probably win the game. You cannot be thinking about yourself. Again, this is informal learning. It cannot happen inside the classroom. It must happen outside in non-contextual settings. And the school ground, the home, the family, when you're going out, all those are opportunities to learn in an informal manner. How do you interact? How do you deal with people your same level, your same caliber, your same status, and also at different levels, caliber, or status than yours? After all people are human beings, and they need to be treated with dignity and respect. That is critical. Livingston's definition has a different organizing principle: the relationship between the teacher, mentor, and learner. Unlike in the EU, where the principal setting was lifelong learning, Livingston's definitions are based on the organizing principle of relationship. What kind of connections, what kind of interpersonal relationships does the teacher and the learner have? If you like the teacher, we know, research has shown it, when students like the teacher, they learn better. When students don't like the teacher, they don't learn as well. So it is absolutely important for the teacher to maintain good, harmonious, healthy working relationships with all students, not just some, particularly the ones in the front row, but even with the ones at the back of the room. teachers need to develop those relationships with students, and when students perceive the teacher as being friendly, fair, just, they will learn better in those classrooms.